Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, Larry and I are sitting down. We're going to answer questions that you guys have. Honestly, this is the most energy that I can muster at the moment, just to sit down and chit chat with you guys whilst we have the COVID and the RSV in the household. So
we have the germ.
We have the germ, as you guys know. So sitting down to openly have a chat with you guys, like you guys are in here with us in our living room, which probably a good thing you're not because you'd all be sick too. But you know, it's just like that casual conversation. So you guys sent in a bunch of questions. Thank you so much for sending in so many amazing questions, and we're going to answer them for you today. Quite a range here in questions. I'm not sure if this video is going to be longer.
We'll do our best to get the answers right too.
Yeah, gotta get it right. All right. So the first question is, how are you all feeling? Sending prayers and good vibes.
Thank you.
Thank you for the prayers and good vibes, babe. How are you feeling? What day are you on?
Oh man, I don't even know. Day.
Count Wednesday. Somebody
Maybe
said
day
that
8?
When you are exposed, that's like day 0. But I don't know when we were technically exposed. You think it was the amusement park, but that's what you're going to blame it on. But you really never know because we've been in so many public places,
could
grocery
have been
stores,
one
baseball.
person in the grocery store. It could have been any one of thousands of people we saw at Universal.
So let's see. Let's just count Friday. That's when you had your symptoms. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You're on day 7.
Day 7. I'm probably about 75%, which is pretty good. I know I'm not back 100% yet, but I'm pretty close.
Is it just weakness? Like, is your sore throat gone, stuffy?
That's pretty much gone. Sometimes I will have a coughing spell, and that flares up the throat again, which is normal. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, good. Just end to the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's not an oncoming freight train, as far as I know.
Oh, God. Liam and I are on day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're on day 5. I woke up this morning with no sore throat. Little man, honestly, he just coughed. He's down for his nap, so occasionally he'll cough. But he was such a happy little guy this morning running around. The only thing that we're noticing is he has no appetite. Like, the kid is not wanting to eat whatsoever. It's so sad. He'll have like a couple bites of a banana and then like wants nothing to do with any more food. So that is a bit of a struggle right now. His breathing treatments are going amazing. The first 2 days with the nebulizer, and you guys know if you have a toddler, if you've ever had to do a nebulizer treatment, I guarantee most of them probably aren't going to love that. Liam screamed bloody murder the first 2 days, but by day 3, he's like, I know what this is. This is okay. We put on his favorite show, and he watches that. Honestly, guys, it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. He loves it. He loves Hedwig Owl in it, so we'll watch the beginning of Harry Potter. He does his treatment, and then he gets a treat after his treatment. So, and he's really loving it. So he, I would say, is also doing much better. He's sleeping through the night now. I still have all of the symptoms minus the sore throat. That is finally is gone. So, and then a lot of you guys were asking what our symptoms are. So Larry, I'll let you start with like all of your symptoms. You tell them what had happened.
Well, think of the flu. Check all the boxes. The only thing I did not have, I don't think I had a fever. I didn't have diarrhea, and I wasn't vomiting. But all the other stuff, the aches and pains, the headache, the coughing, sore throat, runny nose, stuffy nose, check all those boxes.
That's what I had too. I also had like the dizzy spells.
Yeah.
And then like, you have my hair stuck to your beard. The dizzy spells, and then I was going to say, oh, I'm having like intense earaches.
Didn't have those.
So that's what it is. Basically, it's a cold like magnitude, or like Larry said, like a bad flu minus like we're not vomiting and having diarrhea or anything like that. It's just like, bleh.
Yeah, a week ago Saturday, I was up doing stuff, and I thought, I'm tired. I'm just worn down. And I went and said, I'll sleep for a half hour. Well, 3 hours later, I'm finally up again.
Yeah.
And then start the process all over again and say, well, I'm going to lay down again after about 45 minutes. And there you wasted another, well, you didn't waste it, but there's another 4 hours gone because it took you that long to wake up from that nap.
Well, it's a good thing you took the naps.
Yeah.
Your body needed the naps. I would say we're on the mend though, guys. We're not getting worse. I would say this household is getting better. We're on the up and up, which is a great sign. I know so many of you in the comments were talking about how COVID is getting really bad in your area, how you have loved ones that are sick with it, that you just tested positive with it, that you had it a couple of months ago. So sorry. If anybody is sick right now, sending you guys so much love and hugs. We'll all get through it. if you have somebody that's in like a dire condition or a very dark condition, I'm very, very sorry. Hugs to you and your family, because I know that is not fun at all.
Wishes for speedy recoveries for all.
Yes.
We still have our plague mask hanging on the door, so.
Yes. Larry, the plague mask is the bird mask. The plague mask will get put away when we're all better. This next question is, and there was a few of them, is how is Angela? Which is so sweet that you guys are asking. If you guys don't know who Angela is, she is my very best friend. We've been friends since we were, God, 6th grade. That's when we became BFFs. You know, when everybody puts BFF for life.
Such a long time ago.
If you're born in the 90s. I don't know when they started that, but yeah, she is doing great. Her and her family are amazing. They have actually just made a very big move. They have moved back to Ohio. So that is amazing for them, and of course sad for us, because now I'm like, oh my God, they're so far away. So it's not going to be like an easy driving trip now. They were supposed to come down last summer, but the hurricane ruined all of that. And then they had a lot going on with like jobs and moving, and like everything happened, and so now they're in Ohio. So hopefully either we'll be able to go up there maybe in a year or next summer or something when they get all settled, or maybe they can come down here, whatever. But they're both doing well. And yeah, that's the big update on Angela. She has moved to Ohio, our home state.
Went from the peach state to the Buckeye state.
I know. Sometimes I think maybe we could move back, and I'm like, no, I don't think we'll survive those winters. I know she is not looking forward to the winters. She had said, I don't know how I'm going to get through that. I'm like, girl, I don't know. She loves the heat. So it's going to be a big adjustment for her, but...
Heat, good.
Yeah, Larry loves the heat. So, what is your favorite tea?
Not what you gave me the other day.
Guys, I gave him an elderberry tea. Elderberry and immune support tea. He told me it tasted like cardboard. I said, it's because you are sick.
Take an old cardboard box, dip it in some hot water, and then suck the life out of you by drinking it.
But then he follows it up with, God, this tastes like cardboard. Oh, disgusting. And he's, but thanks for making me tea with honey. Here I am trying to take care of my man, give him some tea with honey. This was before we were kind of sick, wasn't it? We weren't sick yet. So I made him tea, and he's like, this is disgusting. I'm like, it's because you're sick, babe. You have COVID. You can't taste anything. Well, we didn't know you had COVID yet either. But
Well, it's not pumpkin juice.
he did not like the tea. My current favorite teas are, I like chai, but I have also been told that you don't call chai tea. I've always called it chai tea. I think that's incorrect, I guess. That's just called chai. So I love chai. That's my #1 favorite. I love the spices. It reminds me of fall. It also reminds me of Christmas. It's just deep aromas and spices, and I love it. And then I have a peppermint licorice one by Tea Pigs. It's an herbal tea. I really love that. And then the dessert tea, the lemon loaf dessert tea. Chef's kiss, so good. Love that. Those 3 are my favorite. Oh, and a pumpkin spice tea. If they had come out with a Christmas tea, I'd like to try a Christmas tea too. Not into the fruity teas. That was a big tea tangent.
I just thought of something. One of our last Q&As, somebody asked, what's one of the things you've done in life that you regret? Kind of like one of the dumbest things.
Oh, we talked about mine was driving and yours was jumping into
off
the...
a bridge into the river. I just thought of #2. It was summer, it was hot, we were in Ohio, and I had a ice cooler, and I bought a case of canned Lipton iced tea. And before the end of the evening, I had wiped out the whole case by myself. I was screwed up for probably 3 days after that. I don't know if it was the fake sweeteners in it or what it was, but don't ever do that. That's not good.
I should add one now that you've added one.
Well, I could probably add 20 more if I thought about it.
Right now it's going to an amusement park. I regret that. Although a lot of you guys were like, don't let that like beat you up. Don't blame yourself for that.
We've been there how many times, and we've been...
Never had that happen.
No. So
yeah. So that to me is like there was some other reason, like some reason we weren't meant to have this transfer. There's some reason it got delayed. Because like I said, we would have had that transfer like day 2 into me being extremely sick. That would have sucked. Anyways, that's my only regret that I can think of off the top of my head right now. Next time I'm going to stay home. But then you still have to go to the grocery store. You're going to baseball. We're always around people. You can't just hide in the house and be a
How many times have we been around thousands of people and we're fine?
I know.
So it may not have even, could have been, did we stop anywhere on the way there, the way back, or?
Just mom and dad's to pick up little man,
Oh,
which
yeah,
a lot
that
of you guys
wasn't
were
fun.
asking if they're all doing okay.
Mhm.
And they are. Luckily, we were supposed to have family day last weekend and we didn't. Thank God we didn't. Larry was just getting sick on Friday anyway, so we're like, yeah, we're not, well, let's just not do it. Thank God we decided not to do it because Liam and I were fine at that time. The only time we have seen them was the day that we picked up Liam on our way home from Universal.
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. And luckily, like, nobody's sick, everybody is good. Thank God, because you know, Grandpa's over there. Grandpa's elderly. Like, we don't want Grandpa getting
No.
COVID. That would not be good. So everybody is healthy and well over there, and thank you for thinking of them, and thank you for asking.
Well, in the perfect world, it would have just been me that got sick.
Yeah, but that's okay. This next question is, does this mean a whole new IVF cycle? You have to start all over again? Yes, which leads me to the whole like canceled versus postponed thing. So this IVF cycle is canceled. It's not me being dramatic or dramatizing it. You don't postpone an IVF cycle when you're about to have an IVF transfer. These are words per the doctor, per my nurse. Like, it is 100% canceled. Every IVF cycle is its own cycle. So this one is canceled and I have to restart, have a period, and start a new IVF cycle. So it's technically not postponed. The only time you can postpone in certain things, but not with this, not when you were about to have a transfer. It is a canceled cycle.
The clock goes from wherever it's at all the way back to zero and you start all over again.
Yes, in the medical technical terms, it is canceled. If you know of IVF or you're going through IVF, you know that. But if you don't, that's okay. I understand, like, when you look at it the other way, it's like, well, no, it's not canceled forever. It's just postponed. Like, yes, technically, yes, it's just postponed. You're going to do it again. Yeah, yes, we're going to do it again.
That was my thought process.
That was Larry's thought process, which was very sweet. And I know that that was a lot of your thought process too. But in the technical terms, it is a canceled cycle. We are not moving forward with it. It ends, it's terminated, period has to come. That's what it means when one is canceled. So I just wanted to clear the air on that. That wasn't me trying to be dramatic, or it's just the technical medical term of what it was. So I wanted to explain that. But yes, that does mean that we have to start a new cycle by me having a period. But it's not that bad. Like, when I look at it, it's like, it was worth it. It's worth the wait. It's a frustrating thing, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? So I'm expected to start a period July 3rd, 4th. As soon as I do, I have to contact them, and then I go in for my first pre-med appointment. I will take you guys along with me for that appointment, and then that's when we'll start up again, and then I'll start my injections right from there, and it'll be a process. And then end of July is my tentative embryo transfer date. It was meant to be for whatever reason, and we just have to trust that. Me and my sniffles. You ever visit water parks in Florida? Have we ever visited a water park?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have either. We want to do Volcano Bay. That's not happening anytime soon.
No.
Maybe next summer.
I think the last water park I ever went to was in Ohio. I think it was on 252, called Wildwood Water Park. If there's any of the Ohioans that are my age or not maybe that old that remember that, I think it's long gone now. But that was a fun place to go to.
I think the last park that I have been to was Soak City at Cedar Point.
Never been there.
I loved that water park. That was so much fun as a kid and a teenager. Oh my gosh, obsessed, loved it. But yeah, we do want to do Volcano Bay. When Liam's like a little bit older, possibly like next year, I would love to take him to Volcano Bay. But hopefully we'll also have a little newborn, so I don't know. But yeah, we would love to do that. Well, there's splash pads and stuff. I mean, we're very fortunate that we have a pool right in our backyard so that we can, you know, play. I know it's not the same as a water park though, but when will the July book be announced? Great question. Let's talk about books for a minute here. We are in the middle of a read, and honestly, guys, I have not picked it up with IVF stuff, and then with being sick, like, I have not picked up the book. And I really wanted to read the On Honeymooners, and I haven't picked it up in a while. And I think July I'm gonna take a break from like picking a book because I have books that I want to read. I have 2 books that I really want to read, but I want to share the 2 books that I know a lot of you guys have been reading is the APPAREL series, and then I want to read Iron Flame. I read the first 2 books. Okay, so let me show you guys really quick.
Read a book, read a book.
So with the APPAREL series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, I have already read, and I'm on the 2nd book, and I've been reading this in between when I finished my book read. So I am going to read this book next. I am like part of the way through it. This is A Court of Mist and Fury. Very fantasy, very steamy, and I love it. So this is going to be a read, and then when I finish this, I am going to move on to Iron Flame. Now the 3rd book comes out, I want to say, is it January 2025 that this comes out, the 3rd book, I think. And then if you haven't read this book, the first book in this series is called Fourth Wing. Another fantasy book. Also reminds me of like Divergent meets Game of Thrones kind of twist. So these are the 2 books that I'm going to be reading. So if you guys want to pick up the series, go for it. And then Larry, if you guys are interested in Larry's books, because he reads a lot of historical, amazing books.
I have The Splendid and the Vile, authored by Eric Larson. Yeah, I really like his writing. Got several of his books recently. This is on the life of Sir Winston Churchill, about the time he was named Prime Minister in the late 30s, and his trials and problems with World War II and things of that nature. If you want to know more about Churchill's younger years, there's a lot of other books that would do that for you. I think this one's primarily from when he was named Prime Minister. And I don't normally read more than 1 book at a time, but I found some books in the garage that I had, and you're not going to be able to see this. This is from 1932. It's a set of 4. The World of Wonder, edited by Charles Ray, not Ray Charles. Just an amazing book. It's actually kind of taking time here. The World of Wonder, 10,000 Things Every Child Should Know, and just the illustrations and things that it explains in simple terms, and it's about science, history, natural history, just a great learning tool. I've learned so much going through this, and I'm looking forward to Liam. If he ever has a question, I can say, well, let's go look. It's 4 volumes. This volume 1 is marked pages 1 through 368, and I think there's about 1,000 some pages in the volume. The other 3 volumes are on the shelf. But if you find this somewhere and it's cheap, I would highly recommend you buy it. Even being made back in the 30s, obviously there's advances and things that are, this is way a long time ago. It's still a great read.
It's really cool.
Good source of knowledge.
He showed me, and he's been reading it and teaching me things. If you guys, a rainbow from the ground, just because of the point of view that you're viewing it, has, the arch. That's what we see from the ground. But from the sky, if you're flying in a plane, it's actually a sphere, like a circle in the sky. A big halo. That's what they see from above. I never knew that until I saw that in that book, which was really cool. So I'll try and list the books down below for you guys. I don't know if I'll find that one, but I will do a little search, a little peruse, and I'll see what I can find. But the other 3 books I know for sure I'll be able to list.
When I saw this and it was a volume 4, I was worried that there might be more that are missing, and I did some research and did find quite a bit of information about this series. It is a 4-volume set, so I do have all 4. That's great. But the set that I found for sale is comparable to this condition-wise, and I think it was almost $400. I got the set of 4 for $30.
Yeah, you gotta look. You gotta look. I'll list the title of that book down below. Maybe you guys can do some research if you guys are good deep diggers at finding good deals. Larry found a good deal on that one. Larry, how did you feel about having a child at your age, having trouble with my hubby?
Ooh. No, I hope everything works out, but no, I had no problems at all, and I've said, and I've been criticized for it, for saying it, and I'm going to say it again. When you think about it, technically, it makes more sense now than it did before, because I'm home. I'm not going off to work every day. Then I had to. It was a necessity. I had to provide. Now I'm retired, and I can stay home, and it's just amazing to be here and be able to help. And if he wants to do something and Mindy's busy or something, we go and do it. So it makes much more sense now to me than it did before. I mean, it was great before too, don't get me wrong. But I have absolutely no problems with this whatsoever.
Yeah. Did you have any nervousness or any thoughts when we first started the journey, when we first called and made that appointment to start? No.
No?
Thank you for being sweet and supportive.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah.
He's an amazing little guy. Aw, you're amazing too.
Oh,
Amazing
thank you.
dad.
And you're an amazing mom.
Thanks, babe.
I have to even the scale.
Which Hogwarts house do you think Liam would be in? I'm a Slytherin.
Ooh.
Larry and I are both Gryffindors. I have tested positive for Ravenclaw.
I have always tested Gryffindor. Every single one.
Yeah, but I think I'm more of a Gryffindor than a Ravenclaw. Liam, I feel like, is a Gryffindor too, with possibly like
Would he be a Hufflepuff?
That's what I was thinking. I think that he could be like Hufflepuff, but we'll see. I think he could be a Ravenclaw too, though. Ravenclaws are very wise and intelligent, and Hufflepuffs are very loyal and very sweet. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he is. I don't think he's a Slytherin. But we'll see. Are you going Halloween decor hunting? It's all out. Guys, I've missed it all. I have not.
She's missing it.
I'm seeing it all online, trust me. And I'm like, ooh. But guys,
she's already got her master plan up here.
I do. I have plans to decorate this house this year. I told Larry, and we talked about this together a couple days ago, like I've had a huge mindset shift in Halloween. I am no longer, and I never really was, into the gore, but I am definitely not now. I am into more of like the sweet little pumpkins and cute. I don't want dark. I don't want
Friday
gore.
the 13th, Michael Myers.
I don't want
Halloween.
knives in the house. I don't
Yeah.
want daggers. I don't want blood. I don't want any of that. Like I'm so, like that's done for me forever. Like I'm just really over that. Because it's, oh no, I won't even get into it, but I've had a shift change, a dramatic shift change. And again, I wasn't into that before, but I'm really like not for it now. So if I do pick up anything Halloween-y, it'll be more of like little pumpkins, a little spooky cat, something like that. Things that I already have, but mostly I want to do just fall.
Happy ghosts, laughing skeletons.
Yeah, like happy things. So I have some plans this year. I'm doing it with Larry, like we've been talking it out, little crafts that we're gonna be doing, and I'm very, very excited. I saw that, just so you guys know, like Bath & Body Works apparently has come out with their fall scents. Hobby Lobby has had fallout since April, or was it May? May, it was May. And then I was in Marshall's not that long ago before I was sick, and they didn't have anything out yet. So let me know where you guys are seeing Halloween and fall stuff out at. But currently I'm not going anywhere. The next time we're going out and about in public is on Monday for Liam's like check appointment to make sure he's doing better.
Yeah, and make sure we're not diseased anymore.
Yeah, so we're not going anywhere or doing anything right now, but let me know where you guys are finding the goods.
We have a store that's a craft kind of store here, not too far, and it kind of specializes every year, and they have a big, I mean it's big, center aisle display of a whole Halloween village.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
What is it called?
Yeah.
You don't want to mention it?
No.
Why?
Because they never have any of the stuff that's on
They're
display.
always sold out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I know. Maybe it's that thing that when it comes out in June, you have to buy it in June or you don't get it.
I don't know, because we've been there kind of early sometimes and they
That's
don't
true.
have it. And then the one time they had, well, we only have one left. It's a return because it's broke. Oh yeah, give me that one.
That's
So-
true. Okay, we won't say it then.
Yeah.
Major comfort foods for you guys during COVID. Soups, like soups and broths. I made that chicken noodle soup. Broths, Pedialyte. Salty was a no-go on the throat. Oh my gosh. Just very soothing things. We got Jell-O. You know, the typical things. Water.
Yeah.
Anything else to add to that?
Oreos with double stuff.
I did crave Oreos last night. Larry went and picked me up another prescription. They gave me prednisone, so I'm on a dose pack for that right now, which I am allowed to take for my IVF doctor since it got canceled. So I have time to take a short-term prednisone pack. Otherwise, they didn't want me to take it. But I'm allowed to take it. So I'm on that. Larry's been on that. He's not quite finished. I'm just starting mine. So anyways, I was like, babe, can you grab a pack of Oreos? And he came back with Oreos, and we watched our Master Chef on TV with eating our Oreos, and it was a great time.
We had some good healthy food watching professional chefs make great food.
Yeah. Was it a requirement to do IUI before you could start IVF? I don't actually know if it was required. I think they wanted us to try, and it's obviously the more affordable option was to try IUI first, and they gave it 3 rounds, and if it fails after the 3rd round, they said you can of course keep going and keep going and going, but if it didn't work after the 3rd time, they're like, it probably possibly won't. I don't want to put that out there for you guys to say, oh, if you've had 3, it's not going to work. Yes, everybody's different. Our clinic just advised us to move forward in the IVF round, but I don't think it was a requirement. Is this the first time that you and Larry have ever had COVID?
I think it's the first time for me. I've been sick past, but never went out and got tested. You do the usual diet of Dayquil, NyQuil, and whatever else, and it goes away. This is the first time I have actually been diagnosed as having a positive test for COVID. All the other ones I've had have been negative.
Yeah, this is my 2nd positive test of COVID. My first was actually when I was pregnant with Liam in the 1st trimester, which, let me tell you, was not a good time. It was horrible. It was like everything was elevated and very heightened. I was very sick, but we got through it. I was, of course, so nervous because I was pregnant, and it was a whole thing, but Liam was fine, I was fine, and we got through that. But that's the last time that I've tested positive for COVID until now. So.
And you probably had it when it first came out.
Yeah.
She was very sick.
It was.
And they said, well, you don't have influenza A or B, you don't have strep, you don't have this. You got something, we just don't know what it is.
It was in February of 2020. Yeah. We all went to Vegas. It was just before the world shut down. Mm-hmm. It was being talked about. We were all hearing about it, but it wasn't a concern in the United States. And I had exactly what I have right now. I was sicker than a dog, went to the doctor, and he was like, I don't know, you're negative for strep, negative for flu. I don't know what you have. You have some kind of a virus. It'll work itself out. It's exactly the same. So I'm like, was it here before we all knew it was here kind of thing? I think so, but COVID testing wasn't a thing then. And then like 3 weeks later, we're all in lockdown because COVID, March 2020 happened. But that was in February. So I think I have had it 3 times total in my lifespan, but I've only tested positive twice. But yeah, having it when you're pregnant in your 1st trimester was really scary. The doctor had told me too that what would have been worse is actually getting COVID in your final trimester. That can be more of an issue. So I don't know why, but that's just what I was told by the doctors. But we are all doing well. What is your favorite ride queue at Universal Studios Wizarding World of Harry Potter?
Well, I think it's Gringotts Bank.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mine is actually the, oh my gosh. Peter's going to kill me. I was going to call it the castle ride.
Oh, it's not the castle ride. It's the Forbidden Journey.
Forbidden Journey, thank you. I love that queue, but I don't love the ride. The ride makes me sick every time. Severe motion sickness. I would rather just walk through the queue just to see it and then dip out. That would be worth it for me.
There's nothing wrong with any of the other ones. It's just that those I think, are the ones that hold the most interest.
Yeah, they're my favorite. Cozy.
Hagrid's, that one, you're in a kind of a cave setting for a while.
The caves are the worst part.
And it was kind of messed up for me, and only because we spent almost 14 hours waiting in it, and a lot of people and conditions weren't the greatest. So that's a fine queue too. But yeah.
This next question is, I'm so curious, how long does an embryo keep growing? So in the process, when you have an egg retrieval, it's usually, it grows up to 5. So once, I'm hopefully going to explain this correctly, but once the egg and the sperm get together and they fertilize, they spend, it used to be 5 days, 5-day embryo, 5-day blastocyst. They've now increased that this last cycle to 7 days. So it's like 7 days, and then once they reach that final 7-day stage, they freeze the embryo. If you're gonna do the PGT testing, which is required with the shared risk program, which is what we're doing, before they freeze it, on that 7th day, they'll take a biopsy of some of the cells of the embryo, and then they'll send that off for testing. So then they'll freeze it.
That's the genetic testing.
The genetic testing.
Yeah.
They'll freeze the embryo at 7 days. So it is like a 7-day embryo. And then you wait for that testing, which can take up to 2 weeks. And then you go from there if it's PGT normal or PGT abnormal. So that's how that process works. Very fascinating.
And if you're going to go through this process, or if you're going through it now, you will learn all that as you're going. They will test you and do all kinds of studies and stuff. So
I feel like we're always learning something.
Yeah.
I feel just like even with the canceled versus postponed, it's like you wouldn't know if you weren't going through it. Like you wouldn't know. It's crazy like how much you learn with doing a process. And even if you don't ever go through it, I find it fascinating just to learn about just to learn about it, you know, because so many people go through it. So many people go through it silently, and like, it's just wild. It's wild to see somebody's journey. So like, I'm putting the journey out there like in real time, right? But imagine all of the people who are going through this silently, who aren't sharing, and it's such a roller coaster, like people's feelings. And that's why I always say, like, definitely take into consideration, like, you don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. And I know a lot of people are excited for people, and if you're a parent and you're asking your kids like, when are you guys gonna have kids, when are you gonna get pregnant, you know what I mean, like, you don't know if they're like trying, and they've been trying, and it's been a struggle for them, and they may have experienced a loss, and like there's just so many things that go into it, and you don't know. You know, so just hugs to everybody going through it.
And I'm basing that off of our experience with our fertility clinic. If you have a clinic and they're not doing the testing, or you're not going online and doing things and learning things, maybe ask them. Because even with some of the stuff we've learned, I've had questions, and then when we talk to them on the phone, I can say, I saw this, but I'm a little bit shady on this part. Can you explain it? And they've been great.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting all that information, ask them maybe if you should, or if you have questions, ask them, and don't be satisfied until you're understanding what the answer is.
That's good advice. Have you guys ever been to Boston? If so, any recommendations? We have been to Boston. We filmed quite a few videos. I think it might be 2 videos, maybe 3, while we were out there. We did Salem, and then we also did like a driving scenery thing up Route 1. I will link those YouTube videos down below for you guys to see. They're a throwback video. Are they from like 2019?
Yeah, if you're a baseball fan, you have to see Fenway Park. They have tours in the daytime that are, I think, a little more advanced than what we got to see, because there was a night game the day we were there. So we got cut short a little bit on the tour, but we still saw a lot of Fenway Park. Even if you're not a baseball fan, if you're a historian or like that, I highly recommend. That's one of the older original parks.
Yeah, if you want to do a day trip, head up to Hammond Castle. Write it down. I think it's Hammond Castle. Even the drive up there on Route 1 is stunning. It's right along the coast. You're gonna see beautiful houses, and then there's a castle where you can do a tour and just go through the castle, and then it's right on the Atlantic. So you'll go out into the gardens of the yard, and you see the ocean is literally right there on these big cliffs. Oh my gosh. I'll list all my videos from Boston, and then Salem and Hammond Castle down below. I think Hammond Castle was maybe an hour drive from Boston?
Maybe not even that far.
Maybe 40 minutes. It's worth it. It is so worth it. The scenic drive, definitely worth it. So I'll link all those down below for you guys if you want to check them out. If you're from Boston, leave recommendations down below as well.
Yeah, we spent time in downtown Boston. We spent time on some of the outskirts, and then we went to Salem and did that kind of side trip too. So
I would love to go back there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to do and see.
Yeah. What are you both looking forward to this fall?
Ooh.
Oh, we may have a trip coming up this fall.
We might.
It is in the works.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to it. I don't want to say too much in case it doesn't happen, but it is a trip up north. and I really hope it happens. I think it'll be really fun.
Mhm.
I think little man will have a blast. We've looked up flights. We found a good one. I think it'll work out. It just, I haven't booked it yet because we're trying to see where we're at with everything with IVF right now. Like it's a weird world where you're trying to like, you're going through this and you have plans for the future, but you can't really quite do things yet. So we're hoping. So I'm looking forward to that trip. That's going to be a blast.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to decorating the house for fall and seeing Liam's face see everything. I'm excited for those tasks, like the goal of what I really want to do. I'm getting emotional thinking about Liam seeing it. Cooler weather, but that doesn't usually hit until we had a cold front on my birthday last year on October 8th. I walked outside and it was cold and chilly. I was like, oh my gosh, the Florida gods knew it was my birthday and they gave me cool weather. It was amazing because usually we can have 80-degree Christmases, which I should be thankful, I know. But I love the chillier weather because we're in the thick of the heat right now. And then you're out of hurricane season too. So that's always, actually hurricane season doesn't end till November.
Right.
But we're usually, our worst time for hurricanes is like August, September. Those are the worst months
Maybe
here.
very early October, and
Yeah.
then we're kind of over the. I have to get used to raking leaves again.
Yeah, we have oak trees that drop. We have a whole yard of like fall leaves that drop. They don't turn red. We have one tree that turns red. Actually, two that get fall leaves, which I'm so excited about.
But the problem with the oaks are some drop early and some drop very little, and it just seems that it's that cycle. You get the yard cleaned, and 3 days later, it's like you never touched it.
Yeah, and they are brown. They just turn brown and they just drop, and they drop for months. But what are you looking forward to?
Just everything you said.
Oh, pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
Although we took Liam to the pumpkin patch last year, and little guy doesn't love the heat, guys.
Well,
like
it was like 90 degrees.
it was like it just, even with taking him to Universal right now, would be miserable for him. He's so he gets flushed in the face, and he just doesn't love the heat. I remember last year we took him to the pumpkin patch, and it was cute, but he was also miserable. It was so hot that first week of October. So I want to take him to a pumpkin patch. I'll have to watch the weather. Hopefully when it's a little cooler, we can take him here, but maybe he'll be able to go to one if we go on our trip up north.
I think he still enjoyed it.
I think he did too. I think he enjoyed the animals.
Yeah, they had
little
animals
farm
there,
animals.
like a petting zoo. You got to see little pigs and stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun for him.
Yeah, he loved watching the pigs run. How are you guys treating Liam's RSV? Feel better soon. So the doctor gave him just the nebulizer, and we're doing his nebulizer treatments, and she wants us to give him Tylenol, Motrin, and Benadryl to like dry him up. So he's like on the concoction.
And the best part is he's used to the treatments now, so he's handling that, which you've been told. Mm-hmm. And he also takes his medicine very well.
Yep.
So we're lucky with that.
He does. He loves the medicine. I was just saying today, I'm like, Liam, time for your medicine, bud. And he'll come running, and we do the medicine, and he's like a champ. And I'm like, oh, I want to.
Yeah.
I started to say like how good he was, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to like say it, and then he's like suddenly like fighting the medicine. But he has always been really great about taking it, so that's a huge plus. But that wraps up this Q&A, babe. That is all the questions. I know. I feel like we could sit here and chat forever.
Yeah.
But that is everything. Thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. We hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully the next time I see you guys, we'll all be feeling a little bit more better. Maybe I can get a vlog going in the next one. But we're still on the mend. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a thumbs up if you did. Leave us a comment down below, and we will see you again in the next one.
Bye. Bye.